Hi, Rachel. Thanks so much for sending me your dream. I'm excited to be able to interpret it for you and talk a little bit about what it means. In case you're new here, hit subscribe, stick around, maybe check out some of the other dream interpretation videos that I do if those are helpful to you. But the way that we typically do things, the way that I do things is I'm going to read your request, talk about the symbols in the dream, and then what that means for your life, kind of how you can apply it and how you can get the knowledge and the information, the wisdom your unconscious is trying to tell you, and use that to better your life. So it's a bit of a sad dream, and I've got a heavy heart reading it with you because I'm really empathizing. It sounds very painful, very difficult, and I hope to give you some hope through it. So let's go. Here we are, Rachel. Just as a backstory, a few weeks ago, I went to Vegas with my fiancé. Something happened there that was very regretful, and I felt taken advantage of and can't get images out of my head of him having sex with someone right next to me while I acted passed out because I thought it would stop if I did that, and it turns out I was wrong. Anyway, I had a dream I was trying to slit my wrist, like long ways, like down, which is the most, this way is kind of for pain relief. This way is usually for like suicide, like self-harm, trying to hurt yourself. At least that's what I'm kind of gathering, right? And ways while in the bath. I don't have these thoughts. It was just in my dream. I tried twice, but it wouldn't cut deep. So it looked like a surface cut. But the next thing I know, I'm on the hotel bed and I just keep seeing what happened in Vegas of my fiance having sex with someone else right next to me. And I just want it to stop. Then we were outside arguing, and I said something along the lines of, "No wonder why." And he said, "You wonder why I didn't stop," and other things. I can't remember. Then I woke up. Any insight would be appreciated. I've got a lot of thoughts, actually, Rachel, and hopefully this will give you some peace about it. So there's a few things to kind of know about dreams, especially dreams that are problematic. That are negative in nature and painful. We typically call those venting dreams. They kind of fall in two categories: wish fulfillment and venting dreams. This really isn't fulfilling a wish for you. This is more venting. And what we mean by that is that one of the main jobs of dreams, one of the priorities of dreaming in the unconscious mind, is that while we're asleep, the mind is trying to make sense of the things that we've experienced, and it's trying to release those unprocessed emotions. We call that venting. It's trying to vent out the steam, the smoke, the unprocessed emotional reactivity, volatility. This is what's happening here. So this is a very heavy emotional experience that you've had, and it's so much so that your mind doesn't really know what category to put it in. This is outside of the scope of what you thought would normally happen with your fiance and with Vegas. So your mind's kind of got it caught. It doesn't know how to file it and organize it. So what it does is while you're asleep, it tries to figure out where to put it and how to make sense of it so it can put it into long-term storage so that way you don't have to have it replaying in your mind every single day. So what's happening here, you talk about being in a bathtub. Bathtub, very big symbol, water, emotions, right? This is a pool of your own emotions. And it's a bathtub you're trying to cleanse, right? Bathrooms are a place of vulnerability. Bathtubs are a place of cleansing. Your mind wants to cleanse itself of the emotions. Water, bathtub, bathroom. You get the symbolism here. Now, the cutting, right? I'm glad you said that you don't have these thoughts in real life. It's okay if you do. I definitely recommend please seek mental health counselor and mental health help for those type of things. Those are very serious, and you have a lot of good things to give to the world that I hope you don't miss out on because of these painful feelings in this painful situation. But in the dream anyway, what this can mean is you have to remember what self-harm feelings are for. Self-harm feelings happen and you start to experience those in a situation where you feel completely out of control. And in a moment where you feel completely out of control, the one thing that we can often control is the pain that we inflict on ourselves. And so somebody who is very depressed, feels hopeless, feels like life is losing its meaning and crumbling around them, will turn to cutting themselves as a way to try and establish at least some sort or some sense of control in their life to cope with the situation that's going on. Now, it's not the best way to cope, and it's a very self-destructive way to cope, but I get it, right? And so your mind is like, I want control back. And so it's giving you this image, specifically long ways, which is the most control. I, at the very least, can control whether I live or die. And that's what often happens in depression. Your mind's giving you these symbols, trying to cleanse, trying to deal with emotions, trying to get back control. Then it switches and you are replaying the events that took place. Like I said, very common with traumatic events. This is not diagnosing you here, but you might want to seek a mental health counselor. Talk about these things because replaying events of traumatic experiences is very common in PTSD. Not saying that you have that. I can't diagnose you over the internet, but it's something to consider. Your mind will try and replay the events to make sense of them. So that's very common. And you see kind of the proof of this is it continues, it plays through, and then you have this imagined meeting outside. You're outside of the situation, and your brain's trying to understand and think of ways that you can talk with your fiance to work through this. Conversations that you can have of how you can kind of come back together or at least make peace with it and move on with your life. So things like, no wonder why, he said, you wonder why, back and forth and back and forth, your mind's trying to make sense. So this all makes perfect sense. It's not telling you what to do per se. It's not telling you what the outcome's going to be. Your mind's not making predictions. It's just trying to help you. It's just trying to keep you safe. It's just trying to process something that was so far outside of the bounds of what you thought would happen that it doesn't know how to organize it. And your brain is trying to take care of you while you're sleeping. I know it's problematic and troublesome to have these thoughts and experiences while you're asleep, but it really is your mind trying to take care of you. So the best thing to do, journal, write it down, talk with someone. By processing these things in your waking life with a therapist, with a mental health counselor, they will be released from your dreams. And that's always the way that it works. That's why therapy is so great for PTSD nightmares, because this very process takes place. So Rachel, my heart goes out to you. This is heartbreaking. I know that you're strong enough to make it through this. This was not expected. There's life on the other end of this, but it is tough. Just hang in there. And if I can be of any help, let me know. You can always email me or send me a message if there's other dreams or other things that I can help you. I offer life coaching, but more than anything, for the mental health aspect, you probably want to talk to a therapist who can help you through this. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you some peace. Thank you for reaching out. I'm glad I can be here to support you. And Rachel, I'm sure we'll talk again in the future. And whenever that is, until then, peace.